Alright, hello everyone, this is The Awkward Headache. Just wanted to show off my DD2 Backport mod and how far I am with it at this moment in time. I'm just gonna do a quick overview and then talk about some of the things that I want to achieve in this, and then kind of run us through a quick dungeon to see how everything works at this point. Alright, so this skill menu is obviously all screwed up. It'll get there. This is based off of another mod that I found on the Nexus, so I haven't got around to affecting this a whole lot. But so we've got the tooltips, which I've gotten rid of accuracy because there's no need for it. Everything always has 100% accuracy unless modified by a token. But all the skills are tried to be as one-to-one as DD2 as I possibly could, and I try to make these tooltips really succinct. And as you can see, there's still some problems with it, but so some of them are better than others. A highwayman has a pretty good set of tooltips right now. A highway robbery works, steals all tokens. Open vein, bleed 2, you'll see that there isn't a bleed percent chance or duration. That's because duration is always 3 unless it crits, which is 5, and chance is always 100. It's very succinct tooltips. Not everything works. In example, I know that Mantra does not work. It's going to be a lot of effort to get that one going, so I kind of backboarded it for now so I can have a playable beta to mess around with. Alright. So the map has not been redone, so that looks really bad. I am actually going to be working on that next and trying to figure out a good way to put it. I'm considering putting it on top left like DD2, but for the moment, the normal UI with the inventory works pretty functional. I like it a lot. As you can see, like where the name is, some spacing issues, but I'll just kind of work through that as time goes on. So these guys don't have any tokens, but I will just use take aim just to show you. So it gets critical, true strike, and a dodge token. So true strike is my solution to ignore dodge and blind. So what it means is you will always hit. You will ignore dodge, you will ignore blind, and you will ignore stealth. So true strike is kind of a new token I've created to fit into DD1. Seeing as how I cannot have token stacks in a way like DD2 does, where if you have 3 dodge tokens, you dodge and then you use one of them, you have 2 left, that is not going to work in this mod. So instead, and what I'll have to balance around as a whole, is each of these tokens, these times ones you see, for most things, other than a couple of few like critical and true strike, will be doing 25%. So one dodge token gives me 25% dodge, so I can stack that up to 100, obviously. Different abilities can give you different amounts, and this will kind of open up different kind of balancing knobs for trinkets, quirks, etc. Critical, 25% dodge, and 1 true strike. Bounty Hunter, I one-to-one him for the most part from DD2, so in that we know that he's a little OP, which is fine for now. As I said, I'll kind of scale him back as I keep working through this. His damage is a little high. Vestal, I just kind of buttoned up into a playable state. As you can see, she kind of has some weird tooltips, and conviction, you don't really know which conviction you're in right now. It also, apparently I missed the does not heal under, and I'm going to do 50% health on this one. Consecration of Fortitude. Now, this is going to be a really, really complex mechanic in order to make it work like DD2 does. However, for the time being, it's an actor dot. So basically, you put it on someone, they get a whatever. So in this case, target gets protection and consecration of fortitude, which will be an actor dot that after they attack, they gain another protection token. It's just going to be a kind of simple way to make sure it works for now. Not super sold on it, but it is what it is. So fire damage. I've messed with a couple of different ways to do fire damage, and it looks like what's going to happen is I'm going to have to do the same thing as Void's the Runaway mod, where everything is kind of skill-based, right? So it's going to be a copy. There's not a whole lot more I can do other than make a damaging A dot. But the modding community is not very happy with that kind of solution, which I still don't quite understand why, but it is what it is, so I'm not going to do it. So yeah, basically these will put a burned token on a target, which will cause other fire damage to do 20% more damage to it, or whatever that number ends up being at the end of the day. Combo, we haven't talked about combo, which is essentially its tag that always gets removed if you use a combo move against it. Very straightforward. Just gonna hit him. He got himself a weak and a daze. He also got a buff that's a hidden buff for some other mechanic that I'm going to be trying to get rid of, that icon, so it makes more sense. Okay, well, not too bad. Oh, that's embarrassing. Maybe I need to fix the map sooner than I thought. Guess I could have just moved it to the side, huh? So we'll talk a little bit about monsters. So monsters interact with tokens in the same way. So I put blind on the Cultist Witch incantation, but blind is half accuracy, right? 50% accuracy. Everything here is kind of like a work in progress, right? So don't be too upset about any one thing that may change at any point. So I got a blind token. I have 50% chance to shoot. So I'm just, for the sake of testing, I would probably use a take aim and just get rid of it, but I'm gonna shoot, hit, and then it'll get rid of the blind token. It's gone, right? Just like DD2. Should kill him. No death's door. No death's door on enemies. You guys keep talking about it. I don't like the mechanic. It adds more RNG than is strictly necessary to this game, period. I don't see it being worthwhile in any respect. He's dazed. So dazed we didn't talk about. I put dazed on, I believe, Bone Rabble's attack. Basically it's minus 99 speed for a round, right? So his next initiative he'll go last. There's not a much better way to add this same kind of restrictions as fire dots. I can't do a whole lot, and this seems like the most elegant solution. Yeah, so it heals for 0 unless under 25. But it's the kind of foresty corpse guys in DD2. I've modeled the skeletons after them. So this guy would interact with a drummer kind of guy in a lot of ways, but also he puts out weakness, or exposed is what I call it. Which basically lowers all your resistances by 20%. As part of this overhaul, yes, I'm trying to do a DD2 backport, but I also want to kind of do some things that I really wanted to achieve with Darkest Dungeon. In an overhaul I was going to make before I decided to do the token system and kind of mimic DD2, which is make combat decisions matter a little more, and then bring some mechanics into focus more that makes the ability for people to make heroes do more that makes sense, right? Like a completely light-based hero is like, unless it's you're crazy strong when it's dark or crazy strong when it's light, like who cares, right? So I'll mess with the torch mechanics in a little bit to try to make, and how enemies interact with low light, to try to make light management be worth it. In addition, I'm getting rid of hunger tiles. They're stupid. I hate them. Once again, it just adds more RNG that doesn't need to be in the game. We'll do something else with food that we'll see in the future. I have notes, but the economy in general is going to be overhauled to be a little more succinct. And have kind of a progression almost akin to DD2, where you need to get specific kind of things in order to upgrade your heroes. And it's not so much upgrade the buildings. Bosses would drop mastery tokens to increase your skill. Like, right, like there are 3 ranks of skill, just like in, well, 2 ranks of skill in DD2. I might do 3 in here just because it's more fun. Or bosses get equipment upgrade tokens, and you can get random mastery upgrade tokens from hallway fights, which is a lot more like DD2. I thought that would be an interesting way to go. Really shake up the gameplay from a typical Darkest Dungeon run for all of you who've played thousands of hours of this game, which is quite a lot of the modding community, I'm aware. Alright, I'm gonna put a blind on this guy. misses his shot because he is also like the kind of 4 skeleton archers from DD2, and he will screw your party up pretty good. I want to use this because it makes sense, but I'm pretty sure it's going to crash the game because I screwed up the actor dot on her and I just didn't fix it. So once again, she's just kind of worthless back here. An antiquarian that does nothing. Lots of work to do sounds, and I'll get around to it at some point. So we got a critical and a true strike, right? So this critical one, kill the arbalist. That resist pop-up was it trying to daze. If it had combo on it, it would have dazed him, just like the ability says, daze versus combo, yeah. I don't really have a party to kind of show off combo, but it seems to work pretty well. I mean, fairly easy to kind of implement. I really gotta get rid of these hidden buffs. Burn, yeah, doesn't do anything. Right after this video, I'm gonna check how I broke that. It's such a simple ability. I don't know how I broke her guard. But welcome to DD2 modding. Wow. Darkest Thunder modding. Enjoy. He's supposed to give a vulnerability token, which he may be giving, but it's just invisible. I overhauled the tokens on the back end a little bit, so I may have missed vulnerability. Or exposed, which is the minus 20% to all resistances token I have created. But none of the vanilla heroes have it, right? So, which is why I skipped over it for now. I'll fix it. So we can do some more token play here, which is good. I know my setup here is not super conducive to showing off the token system. So I may do another video that uses like Jester that has lots of combo, Man-at-Arms for protection things, Leper, he's got a bunch with the blind tokens and that mechanic and all. Or I just made it bleed crazier. You see it took my dodge token. I got hit anyway. That's what I don't like about the doesn't work under 25%. You have to do a little math, but also that may have just straight up be broken. Vestal may just be completely broken right now and completely unusable, which is super awesome. On the flip side, I like Plague Doctor a lot, so I put a lot of effort into her, and she works. Except it didn't cure his bleed, I say. She works as she totally doesn't. Okay, hold on. I'll write a note about that real quick. Stupid. Well, he stuns, so. Push, there it is. It's weird that it was queued like that. I may have to double check. Queuing like that is not accurate. It's blinded. Nope. Oh, she had a blind token on her. I didn't even notice. See. Well, now we can do some stuff with her. That's nice. So, Hand of the Light gives self strength and protection. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but didn't even give her a strength token. Great showcase, Eddie. Straight up one broken character and a bunch of little stuff that doesn't work. Classic. It's classic me. Like, get rid of the blind attack. Next up is crit token. Half damage because the prot token is gone. That would stun him. Alright, so that's the end of this dungeon. If you guys are aware of the beginning dungeon, there's nothing here and here, it's just an explore. It's kind of a showcase of where I'm at, where we're going. Yeah, I mean, I hope you guys are interested in something like this. I mean, it's going to be a lot of beta testing, balancing, etc. to kind of get the feel right. You know, I want it to be that same kind of like each dungeon is you're trying desperately to get to the end feeling. I'm gonna work with the heals and the stress to try to make it feel a little more like DD2, which I actually do like from that game, the combat and kind of like how you have to manage your guys' health and stress. I think it's a little more elegant. I know in its implementation in general, so I'm gonna try to do stuff like that as well. Breakdowns, camping is going to be a big difference, but I haven't even got there yet, so I'm not super worried about it. And then just kind of cleaning up abilities. For anybody who's interested in patching their hero mod, it's actually going to be really easy. Like super easy. There's going to be like 2 or 3 rules, basically. Which is, number 1, you can't use a couple of different sources, as I use them for the token mechanics. Number 2, you will have to add like a little block of code to the bottom of your hero that I have pre-made. Super easy. Just change the name of your skills to, or in it, and that will basically allow your character to adhere to the token system. And then 3, just like kind of the general idea of balance. You have to use the token system, basically. So like if you would do a debuff, instead use a debuff that is part of the tokens that are all pre-made in the effects file. You can just say which one you want. Super straightforward. So I'll be converting my class mods over to this in some capacity. I know I only have the Forsaken release right now, but more are coming, to kind of show that off as well, and different things you can do. And then for those of you who are a little more advanced with modding, like this is a sandbox that is like BR in a way, where you can get really crazy with the things you can do. BR is so no offense, spaghetti code in the back, that anyone who has not been working on it is probably going to stare at it and be like, what the hell? And there's so many rules to make BR work, where that's something I kind of wanted to avoid here. Like, real easy to add your own content into this kind of overhaul. Like, nothing crazy. Like, literally 3 rules: token system, put this block of code on the bottom. Like, it's not going to be hard at all. So you can play with your favorite heroes, or hell, I could patch heroes in 10 minutes. So, like, if somebody's like, hey, will you patch my hero, I could probably do it. So yeah, I guess that's it for now. I'll have an update with everything a little more cleaned up, especially Vestal here. She's gonna be, her and Occultist are gonna be kind of rough. Everyone else is pretty easy or done already, but Occultist is rough. Double cross, that's a cool ability. But anyway, all right, hopefully you guys are looking forward to more, because I'm still working on it. It's fun, so as long as it stays fun, I'm gonna keep working on it. Peace out.